Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Brahmji. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, I'm doing a very highly requested video. You guys have been asking me to do a video like this for months, and here it is, my tutorial on how to sell manga. Now, if you've been around the channel for any amount of time, then you'll probably know that I sell a lot of manga. I make it pretty well known. Not only do I hunt for and flip rare manga, but I also just sell off series when I'm done reading them or I don't think I'm gonna read them again. So you may not think it, but when I first got into selling manga, I was really intimidated by the process. I didn't know where to start, and I really wish that there would have been a video like this that I'm hoping to make that would have given me a good rundown on the process, because it really is super simple once you get the hang of it. So I'm going to try to make this video as quick and concise as possible. I'm going to go over three main things. First, where do you sell your manga? Second, how do you price it? And third, how do you actually go about boxing it up and shipping it out? So if you guys do enjoy this video and learn something from it and it helps you with your selling journey, then definitely leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so for this video, we're going to be using Satoshi Kon's Tropic of the Sea as an example. This is actually a manga volume that I've sold, but I've yet to actually package it and send it out. So I'll use it as an example for this video, a little bit of a visual aid of sorts. So I've got my manga volume that I want to sell, but the first thing I need to figure out is where do I sell this volume? And for this video, I'm going to go over the two main places that I sell almost all of my manga, that of course being eBay and MangaSwap. First off, we have eBay. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar and have probably even bought some stuff off of eBay once in your life. It's a very well-known site, one of the biggest online shopping websites for a long time, and it still is to this day. There are many advantages to using eBay to sell your manga. First off is the ability for users to search out what they're looking for and find your listing. If you know how to title your listing by using, lots of keywords and filling up the whole title, that's a lot easier for people to find your listing. Also, if people are looking for something, your listing can get recommended to them even if they're not actively searching for your listing. And of course, this just makes it easier for your item to get found and sold. The second thing that I really like about eBay is all the options for buyers to buy the item. Of course, they can buy it up front, they can send offers, or they can bid on the items, and sometimes bids allow you to get even more money than you hoped for. The only big downside I can think of when selling on eBay is that eBay usually takes about a 10% cut of your final sale. So recently I sold volumes 1 through 8 of Sundame for $300 plus $10 for shipping, ended up making about $250, minus of course the about $30 to $40 they took out of my listing, which sucks, but of course you do have these benefits, so it kind of weighs out. But in some cases you might not really want to sell it if you have to pay that fee. If that sounds like you, then fear not, for the second place that I like to sell my manga is MangaSwap on Reddit. If you guys aren't familiar with how Reddit works, I'm sure a lot of you guys are, but basically it's a website with lots of different communities called subreddits where you can join and be engaged and active in these communities of different interests. And the subreddit that we're going to be talking about today is MangaSwap, r/MangaSwap, if you want to go look it up on Reddit. Basically, it's a place where you can sell, buy, and trade basically anything manga, anime, or otaku culture related. And since the pandemic, we've seen a huge surge in the amount of people joining that community, and manga collectors, there's a huge boost in interest in manga. So needless to say, there's even more people on there buying and selling manga on there than ever before. So if you want to sell your manga on MangaSwap, basically what you have to do is go to the subreddit and create a text post. I believe that text posts are the only options for posting on MangaSwap, but basically in the title, you put your country, if you're buying or selling, and then a brief description of what you're selling in the title. And of course, for the actual text portion of the post, you're going to be listing off everything that you're selling with the price that you're selling it for, and then of course adding any other details such as condition or shipping details that you want to include. Also, it's a requirement now for MangaSwap posts, but you need to include an Imgur or Imgur album. Basically, it's just another app where you can copy a link and it'll share a photo album of the manga that you're selling. So basically you need to take pictures of everything you're selling and then include that link to that Imgur album in the description or the text of that post. I'll put up a screenshot of a MangaSwap post that I have put in the past to give you a little bit of an example of what a post looks like on MangaSwap. So basically, after you've created and published your post and it's up, the only thing you need to do is wait for people to comment on your post saying, I'm interested in this, or I'm looking to buy this from you. Buyers and sellers can negotiate on price in the comments, and ultimately the transaction and all the nitty-gritty details are worked out through the private messages through Reddit. So it is pretty simple to get manga sold on here, and again, there are lots and lots of people constantly on this site refreshing, looking for new deals to find on MangaSwap. Those are the two places where I sell all my manga. Next up is pricing. Now, if I have this Tropic of the Sea volume, I may know where I want to sell it on eBay or MangaSwap, but how much do I actually charge for this in order to get it sold? The main thing that I do to guide my pricing when it comes to evaluating the price of my manga set that I'm looking to sell is I will go on eBay, then type into the search bar what you are selling, then go to the filters and check sold listings. This will enable you to see all of the recent sold all the listings of the item that you are selling. This of course means that someone else had listed this item in the past and sold, their item has been sold, and you can see what price their item was sold for. Of course, when it comes to pricing your own item, if you want to get it sold quickly, you can price it for a little bit lower than the average what the item usually sells for. If you want to get all the money's worth that you can even price it a little bit more, especially if it's something a little bit more rare and hard to find. So for this one, I think I went on eBay a while ago and I found that the sold listings were anywhere from like $8 to $12. So basically what I did is I listed this, or I asked anyway, for $8 and ended up being sold to my fellow friend and manga tuber, Hobbies of Man. So with that being said, now comes the time to actually package this book up and get it to him. So there are a couple different ways that you can go about shipping your manga. For a singular volume, usually what I do is I just put it in a shipping envelope, a padded envelope. This is lined with bubble wrap. You guys can probably see the pattern, and on the inside, obviously you can see the bubble wrap in there. These padded envelopes come in all different sizes. I've shipped books in one smaller than this, bigger than this. Even when I bought them by accident, it still works no matter the size. As long as it fits the book, you're good to go. You can get these at Target, really anywhere. These are really cheap, about $1 each. You can also buy them in packs of 4, 5, and 6, usually to save a little bit of money as well if you have multiple books to ship out. But yeah, with that being said, what we're going to do is just slip this book into the envelope like so. Usually what I do, if it fits, I do it long ways, so it doesn't really slide around too much. And then sometimes I'll even fold it one over like that, and then tape it all together so it really doesn't move. Now if I'm shipping out a singular volume that's especially rare or valuable, I really don't want to get damaged, I'll usually wrap it up in a plastic Target bag just for a little bit of extra protection and padding. But for this volume, it's pretty cheap, so I'm really not going to bother with that. No offense, Hobbies of Man, but I'm not too worried about this one getting damaged. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm also selling a set of manga, that being multiple books, Tsundemume 1 through 8. So I got to get these out, and like I mentioned, I sold these for $300, so these are very expensive and hard to find. So we'll be taking some extra precautions to pad these and make sure they arrive safely. So I'm going to give you guys a view of the box as I ship these out to give a little bit more in-depth view of what really goes into packaging up a manga set like this. Alright, so as you guys can see here, I have a brown cardboard box that I'm going to be using to ship these books out. When it comes to getting boxes, you can either buy boxes, usually you get some smaller ones like this. I'll show you. This example, they come folded up and it comes to you to make the creases and ship it out. These don't fit very many, usually about 2 to 3 books, but I do use these from time to time. But I usually just reuse and recycle boxes like I'm going to be doing now. I think this was a Right Stuf box or something like that, so I'm going to be repurposing this and shipping out the books in this box. So the first thing that we're going to do is line the bottom with some bubble wrap just for a little bit of added protection. So I'm going to cut after I've got this done. Then the next thing that we're going to be doing is actually wrapping up the books in a plastic bag like this. Just make sure they don't really wiggle around, and again, just another added layer of protection. Alright, so as you can see, we have the books here all wrapped up in the plastic. They slid nicely into the box, and of course, not every box will have this little thing right here. Usually these come in Right Stuf boxes. If that's the case, then you can fill this extra space with bubble wrap, newspaper, watered up plastic bags, brown shipping paper, anything to really just keep them from moving around, because you really don't want your books to get damaged when you ship them, because of course that can result in a refund or any other bad stuff like that. You just want your books sold and shipped safe. And just for good measure, I'm going to add this little layer of bubble packaging. It's not even really bubble wrap, but I'm just going to add that for another added layer of protection, just to make sure that these books 100% don't move around to get damaged. And then of course, all that's left to do is just take some packing tape, close the box, and tape it up. So now we've got our box all taped up and ready to go. Now we need to apply the label. Usually what I do is I use something like a note card, and then of course you write your return address, which is your address, and then the address of the person that you're sending it to. And the same thing goes for your yellow envelope. Basically, you can just write it in Sharpie anywhere on here, as long as your return address is in the corner somewhere, and then the recipient address is just somewhere in the middle. You should be good. All right, so now we have our 2 packages here ready to ship out. We of course have a few options when it comes to actually shipping them out. Of course, you can use USPS, UPS, FedEx, anything like that if you want. The rates are going to be a little bit higher for FedEx and UPS, but this is very important. If you are using USPS, the United States Postal Service, ship out with USPS Media Mail if you want to save money on shipping. USPS Media Mail is used for shipping out things such as books, sheet music, DVDs, Blu-rays, things of the sort, media. And if you're shipping these items, then you get a lower rate. This envelope here should cost me about $2.80 to ship, and then the box should cost me somewhere around $5 if I'm using Media Mail. So basically what I do is when I go to the post office, I put them on the counter and I say, I'm shipping these with Media Mail because there are books inside. And then the person working at the post office will of course weigh them, and they'll get your price, and then you'll pay at the end, And yeah, that's basically it. After you're done, you'll get a receipt with tracking numbers. If you're doing eBay, then you'll need to add the tracking number to eBay so we can mark it shipped. Or if you're doing it through Reddit, you don't have to send the tracking number, but I highly recommend it just so you can be in good favor with the buyer and of course keep them updated. And yeah, after you've done that, you're basically done. So yeah, that's basically all there is to selling your manga. I know that listing your manga and selling it, you know, it's very intimidating. I was kind of nervous about getting the whole process right my first time selling, but if you follow these steps, you should have absolutely no problem. It's very simple once you know the process and get the steps down. If you guys have any comments below regarding shipping or anything in general manga related, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll definitely be responding to all the comments to of course help you guys along with the process, and if I forgot anything, which I probably did, then I can answer those questions as well. But yeah, that's my tutorial for listing and selling your manga. Hopefully you guys did enjoy and learn about the process. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been The Prodigy. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.